Alright, hey guys. Wait, I should start this song over. Hey there, I'm the Gam Recap. Welcome back to another Terraria video. Technically, this is Terraria related. Well, this is the leaderboard, my attempt at explaining it, so... I don't know where to start. I guess... Yeah, this is an attempt at finding which item in the game is the best, as well as... It's less like, I'm curious which item is the best because I know it's the Zenith, but like more... Because I'm curious exactly which items are better than what, just like based on the value they provide or whatever. So, I can explain what all of the different categories are, because as you can see, this is a monster. This guy goes pretty far over. I could explain all the categories later, but for now, let's just explain the gist. So, the equation, I believe, is down here. The top. Yeah, it's right here. So it is A plus B times C. For those of you who don't like math, tough. Actually, this is not too bad. It's just, A, B, and C represent these three things here. Like, this is A, B, and C. Sum of base values plus appeal value. I guess maybe I can go over those after. So, first things first, base value is all the way down here. Scroll for a bit. Base value is like what an item is, pretty much. Determines this value, and it's always a flat number. And I ranked it accordingly to how good stuff is. Rod of Discord is broken. HP not being dead is pretty good. Wearing wings is OP. So like, what an item does, or like what it is usually the base value. Actually, I'm pretty sure every single time. Sometimes a function of the item can then also have a base value, like a weapon, because a weapon does more things which give it base values, like DPS is essentially what these values mean, or what they scale to, is 1-to-1 with 1 DPS equaling 1 value. So like, block is capable of converting into another block at other kind of blocks. Minus 50, that's annoying. Corruption sucks. Most of the time. NPCs don't even want to live in it. Otherwise, not that good. But like random stuff that's just for fun, not that good, but still nifty in its own right, but like not that good. I think, because this is all opinion based, like in my opinion, being able to do 1 damage per second is as valuable as having a sparkle slime balloon. Because this thing, you throw it at someone, it explodes, and like, sure, let me open Terraria and show you this item. Like, for those who don't know what the sparkle slime balloon is. It takes a while to open. Okay, there we go. I mean, it's still gonna have to load, but unicorn on a stick, this you just hold and walk around and pretend like you're riding a unicorn, even though there is literally a unicorn in the game that you can ride. Pretty weird. I wonder why they added this like screen to Terraria that like takes forever to load. Maybe because they had to? I'm not sure. I like this Terraria. Having music overlay with music is annoying. Okay, so my world is kind of destroyed right now. Those who saw the other random video nuking my world for fun will be aware of this, but like, yeah, the world's kind of chugging, trying to load. There we go. Settling liquids is usually the only part that takes forever. The rest is good to go. So like, I guess let's visit Chippy over here. Hey, bro. I love God mode. Why don't they make the Rod of Discord? Like, I don't even think it'd be that broken. It's just it should just be an end game thing that you're able to do. Like, why not? Also, look at this FPS. F10. 47 FPS. And then if I scroll down and load it faster, 20, 20, 20, 19, you can get the game down to 19 FPS by loading all the items. The game is very poorly optimized. Like, Jesus Christ. You can see why they wanted to not work on it anymore, because it's like, you can't really, like... If you do this fast enough, I bet a task could crash the game. Anyway. These are just... You throw it at someone and... Now look at him. He's pissed. He's like covered in goo. It's the same effect as the water gun. Now he has both. Wait, let's give him all three, dude. he is just broiling in a mess. He just has all these different liquids on him, and he's in cold water. It's like a Mr. Beast challenge right now. Okay, he's starting to recover. But you know what? You see what I mean? Like, I don't find that useful. That's why that's 1. I'm really easily distracted. Anyway, so that's what a base value is. It's generally just what something is. And on to multiplier value, which is what the second thing you need to know is. This is something that will take the base value of something and it will multiply it, obviously. That's in the title. Pretty obvious. But so how this works is every single item starts at a base multiplier of times 1, right? Because every value that the item has, if it has no multiplier values, is just what the value is, which is what times 1 is. Like if you take 69 times 1, it's just going to be 69. So like that's what the base is. And once you add or subtract a value, it changes that item pretty drastically. Like -1, that will actually make something useless. Item has a higher mana cost than 30. Yeah, I don't think mana costs are very good. You can tell my opinion on that. But anyway, so like say something has -0.25. So now say with this multiplier value of -0.25, the item had a base value, like after all equations or whatever, of 1,000. So you take that base value times the multiplier value and you get actually a lower number. So you could have items be worse than like where they started at if they have a subtraction on their multiplier value. And there's items that obviously have addition to that value, and they get pretty fucking ridiculous near the top. Like infinite flight is dumb, lifesteal's really OP, minions are broken, attacking through walls is broken, and buffs that last more than 30 minutes, that's pretty retarded. Alright, the third value we gotta worry about is the accessibility value, which is pretty easy. It's just how easy it is to get the item, in my opinion, from 1 to 100. And then whatever my opinion is transferred to a percentage from 1 to 100%, and then my base value of my item that I'm looking at is then, you can see right here the equations, base value plus appeal value and accessibility value, which appeal value and accessibility are like the same thing. Appeal is just how cool I think the item looks, or how good, it's like how appealing, pretty much. So like, both of these work the same way. It's 1 to 100 in my opinion, 100 being the highest, 1 being the worst, because obviously this is an item, or a percentage that increase, so the higher the percentage increase, the better the buff. And it is of the base value. So this is not anything to do with any of the other stuff. This is in parentheses. This means these are done in a vacuum. And then once they're done, they're then added to this base value, which if an item has multiple base values that it goes under, they are added together. That's why that says sum of base values, so that's what that means. And then sum of all those all the base values that it goes under is then added to how cool it looks, which is a percentage increase of 1 to 100%. So if the item looks amazing, or whatever, and it gets 100% rating on the appeal value, that means that it's added to the base value sums, which means that it gets increased by 100%, or double. So the sum of the base values can actually be doubled twice. And it happens one after the other. So 100% of this value plus 100% of this value would be like, damn, the item looks both amazing and is easy to get. You can get twice as big and then twice as big as that again. And then after that, that's just A. That's just A. And then DPS tests act as a secondary base value because how good something is at dealing damage is pretty much one of the best stats in the game. Definitely top 5. So that's pretty far over. All you really need to know is there are... I actually don't even remember the exact number of tests. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tests. I have 1 target, 3, 5, 10, 25, 50, and 100. You can only have 100 training dummies in one world at a time, so I'm going to have to make another world for this, but whatever. I have had to do worse for this video and for this series, so whatever. So basically how this value works, the DPS value is, this test is a range. This is a range of values. Because when I'm hitting a dummy, it'll vary wildly. The damage stat of the item is the average between those two stats. But this is a range. So the damage against one target will be like slightly lower and slightly higher than what the damage stat of the item says, and then 3 will be like, well, depending on what the item is, it might pierce, it might not. Items that pierce do a lot more damage because they'll hit all 3. Items that don't will do less. So like, it'll be like increase exponentially if you hit a bunch of different targets pretty much. The best items in the game hit infinite targets. And that's just the ranges. And then banner value, we're gonna have to, we're not gonna be able to do banners for a while because I'm gonna need to do enemy spotlight videos on enemies to know how good banners are. Or yeah, it goes item showcase, enemy spotlight. So I need to do enemy videos before I know how good banners are, because banners are directly correlated to enemies that you get them from. So we got the DPS value across all target tests, the range of value numbers. So that basically just means all 7 tests added together. That's what this is. And this is just for fun, this isn't important. And then the DPS value average across all tests added together. And then base value, this is just a list of all the base value stuff they go. This is probably going to be a horrible idea because they're probably going to fit a lot. Like, how many categories does the Zenith fit? Who knows? And then item base value sum before appeal and accessibility bonuses, and then with appeal accessibility bonuses, plus sum of all TPS. So that's how that works, I suppose. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. And then list of value multiplier categories that fit item, and then the value multiplier, which is the sum of all those. And then rank value, which is the final value. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't think I've mentioned yet that value multiplier is generally what an item does. So like base value is what an item is, multiplier is what they do. Appeal is how cool it looks, accessibility is how easy it looks, and it's how all that fits together. So like base value plus 1 to 100% of base value plus 1 to 100% of that value equals A, and then sum of all the DPS tests, which I just showed you, is B, and then all the multiplier values, which I just mentioned, is C. And then you take all that shit, which is A, plus the sum of all the DPS tests, which is what that one box I just read a second ago said, and you get another value, and then take that value multiplied by the multiplier values, and you have the final value. This will be done for every item in the game, and there will technically be a D. There'll be a letter D for the equation once we do banners, but I don't see that happening for a while. They're probably going to be the last videos I do. Even doing this video took forever, but it's neither here nor there, so. There's some pretty shit items, like item decreases player's magic damage. Cool. Thanks for fucking over a class that already sucked. Yes, that's pretty much how that works. Now, I'm just going to list all the categories. So that's pretty much the video for those who are curious how it works. Now here's what all the items do. So we got position and picture, we'll put them down here. The tier, which is just going to be from Z to S plus, pretty much. And then rank value, the final value that of all those equations that I just did. The name, obviously, item appeal value, accessibility, particle effects, whether it has particle effects, damage stat, whether it has a damage stat, knockback stat, whether it has knockback, use time, the time between when you're able to use the item. Like, some items will stun you for a bit, like the conch or something. Item critical chance, whether the item can critically strike or not. Item type, this is like very varied, like the amount of things it could say, stacks up to some items are 1, some are 999. All of them should be up to 1,000,000 in my opinion. Mana cost, where the item sucks. I'm just kidding, but not really. Weapon deals more damage faster than the player is moving. That's just for lances. Item works underwater. Item works under lava. Because the Flower of Fire doesn't work in lava. Let's do that real quick. what that's for. Item works under lava, some items don't, I forget which. Item grants buff, some do. Buff name, tooltip, buff duration, hitbox for the item. Some items don't have hitboxes, but they still deal damage, like summoning weapons, other than the whips, obviously. And the width of the weapon, height of the weapon, method of use, like broadswords you swing over your head, lances and short swords you stab, that kind of thing. And like accessories, you'd be wearing it. Okay, hitbox duration upon single use of weapon. This is in seconds. Should mention that maybe. Seconds. Because some items like the spear are their stats might be lower, but they last for longer, like boomerang or stuff like that. Harpoon. And rarity in terms of text, like what color the text is, whether the item's a flail or not, fairy, seashell. Item allows for collection of seeds from grass, basically it's sickle, allows for collection of hay from grass. Oh no, this is the blowpipe, this is the sickle. My mistake. Weapon shoots projectile. Pretty much every good sword does that. Weapon is a projectile, that'd be a boomerang. Or like a light disc or something. Weapon has homing. I know the possessed hatchet has homing, I forget what else. Weapon hits through blocks. I know Zenith has homing. Hits through blocks, it'd be like the Vile Thorn, the Zenith. Weapon hit has multiple inputs. There's some items like that. Some of the old ones, army ones, that I don't use, so I don't remember the names have those. Amount of projectiles summoned, I know. The Star Wrath summons a few more than just one. Weapon projectile damage. Star Fury has double damage to the main weapon, so I needed to add that. Weapon projectile works underwater. So like the other one could also, like item works underwater can be like some torches don't work underwater, some do. Weapon projectile works underwater can actually be for flower fire. Weapon projectile passes through platforms. Star Fury does not pass through platforms. Water Bolt does. Weapon projectile path, the shape, or like some come from space, like the Star Fury, others come from your weapon, then there's a Meow Mirror where it bounces on the floor. There's a lot of different ones. Weapon projectile duration, that will be how long like it takes for the projectile to disappear after you shoot it in a line. Like some last forever, others last after a certain amount of blocks, or like time. I think I'll say both. Time, like seconds, plus blocks, so that we know exactly what it's talking about. Weapon projectile passes through this many enemies, like Water Bolt passes through 10, Meteor Shot passes through 1 and hits the second one. Weapon projectile bounces off this many walls. I think Water Bolt bounces off 10 walls as well as enemies. It's like the same number. Weapon projectile width, this is like how wide the projectile is. And then there's how high the projectile is, and then projectile cooldown. This is like the use time, but for the projectile. It's sometimes the different value than the actual sword, so you'll have stuff like the Terrorblade, where it's like, voice crack, you'll have like the Terrorblade being able to auto-swing, but then it won't fire projectiles like, what's the word? It begins with O. I'll just use efficient. It won't efficiently fire sword beams at like the optimal amount. There we go, I remembered. Unless you actually just spam it. So it's actually weird. It's weird. Weapon projectile velocity, how fast the projectile goes. Velocity multiplier, some items actually multiply the velocity, like the sniper rifle. And then there's projectile summons projectile, like the Scourge of the Corruptors, that summons multiple other projectiles. I think there's another one, maybe, I don't remember. Or projectile summoned by weapon projectile. I think Scourge of the Corruptors summons 2 to 5, I don't remember. Maybe 6, 2 to 6. Projectile summoned by weapon projectile damage that, like, Scourge of the Corruptors does less damage, I believe, than the main weapon. But since it fires multiple projectiles, it actually makes it do more damage. It's interesting. Projectile summoned by weapon projectile knockback stat. That is going to be annoying to find. Projectile summoned by weapon projectile velocity. Height, width. Projectile summoned by weapon passes through many targets. Bounce off this many walls. Chance for weapon to not consume ammo. Good amount of weapons do that. Item fits in an ammo slot. That's really good when it does that. Like, you could save inventory space by using gel. It's nice. Weapon uses ammo. That's nice. Not really. I'm kind of like falling asleep here. It's like, look how little I've gone. Ammo is generally garbage, actually. Ammo is an arrow. Why is ammo is a arrow? It just looks weird. And make that correct size. Bullet, rocket, darts, solution, miscellaneous, gel, fallen star, sand, flare, snowball, hail, seed bone, weapon ammo velocity multiplier, weapon ammo damage stat, weapon ammo type, weapon ammo stacks up to. Let's get a different song. Moving forwards. What is this song? That's like fortress music. Sure, why not? Weapon ammo stacks up to. That's weird. I already have an item stacks up to stat, but whatever, I'll leave it. I'm lazy. Weapon ammo knockback. Item research amount. Yeah, just like a bunch of different ones of those. Item grants debuff, like red potion. Items a torch, glow stick, sticky, pickaxe power. Tool speed. It's like the time between when a pickaxe will mine blocks or a hammer will hit walls, whether the pick mines meteorite and the pickaxe power required above. And like all the different blocks that and the pickaxe power required, how many hits to mine dirt, stone, and how many hits to mine each of the different things. Tool only mines soft blocks like the shovel. Axe power, obviously. How many hits to fell a tree, how many hits to fell a cactus. Hammer power, how many hits to destroy a wall. Item allows the player to move the screen like the binoculars or recon scope. Item adds measurement lines to the screen. I think the mechanical ruler is what that item is. I'm not sure. Mechanical ruler. You can just leave it in your inventory. Or I could literally do this. Oh, I would need the grand design, never mind. You can't turn it on all the time, you need the grand design. Okay. Tool block reach. Tool block reach horizontal, vertical. Items explosive, size of the explosion. As well as the size of the explosive. It's two different things. Explosion destroys tiles. Explosion places blocks like the dirt bomb. Okay, explosion places blocks, explosion timer, time before it explodes, obviously. Explosion is sticky. Explosive is sticky. I need some water, excuse me. Best reforged for combat. Multiple if there are ties for usefulness. Generally, I'll be looking at the wiki for this, but I might test it if I don't believe them. Best reforged for tool use, because ever since I checked the wiki for how water striders spawned, and I saw that they say that they spawn on any water surface, I stopped believing it, like that they were gospel, because like I sat for 5 hours and I didn't see a single water strider, but I turned it into, was it 5 hours? I don't even remember. It was like 2 or 5 hours or something. Actually, I think it was like a half hour, but you shouldn't have to wait a half hour with 10 times spawn on to see something if it spawns something that's stupid. But like, yeah, they don't know everything basically. Crafting recipe 1, 2, crafted at, biome crafted in, dropped from, drop chance. Biome crafted in. I forget why that's relevant. Drop chance from grass, from block, from wall, from sword altar, from chest, kind of chest. Chest location, from crate, crate variety, crate fishing location, fishing quest reward, caught while fishing. From windy balloon, item drops from NPC, true or false. Item only drops from certain named NPCs, like Andrew the Guide or Whitney Steampunk. Item is a golf ball, item is a golf club, item is a miscellaneous golf item, item is a kite, sold by, biome sold in. Like marshmallows are only sold by the merchant in the ice biome, buy price. Only served during certain moon phase, like half the shit the Clothier has. It's really annoying. Fucking Chippy. I almost called him Chiffy. Fucking Chippy ripping me off again. Only sold during Blood Moon, like, I think throwing knives are only sold by the merchant in pre-hard mode before, or during a Blood Moon. It's dumb. What other items are only sold in blood then? I don't remember. I think there might be a rocket or something. Only sold during solar eclipse, that'd be rocket 4s. Only sold during lantern night. Release lantern is the item. It's annoying to get. Golf score required to buy, 2,000 for a lot of the items. Bestiary completion percentage required to buy, like Universal Pylon requires 100%, which... Look at that lag. 16 FPS to lag the Bestiary. You need 100% of this. You do. Doesn't have to be 100%, but like click some random page. Killed a shitload of these. That's probably a bad example. I need to find something like yeah. I thought I had a question mark. Yeah, right here. In this world, it's question marks, but in another world, I killed like 50 for a banner because I used like so many worlds. I don't even want to say a number because it's gonna be wrong because I don't remember. I wish bestiaries were tied to the character, not the world. It's fucking stupid that they aren't, but whatever. Make an entire video complaining about that. Sell price, auto swing, auto use. Item adds auto swing, auto use to melee weapons because the Molten Gauntlet does it, I think. Enables auto swing for melee weapons. Yep. Good. Item allows for auto jump, frogs shit. Items an acorn or gem corns count as well. Acorn requires a certain block to be planted. Gem corns would be dirt, or I mean stone, and regular acorns would be dirt with grass on them. Acorn requires a certain depth to grow. To be gem corns. I think acorns actually can't be grown underground. I forget. Yeah, because you need the sun. Like you can't have any background walls in front of it. Acorn requires light to grow. Item is a block wand, like the bone wand, or what's this song? Ooh, this is like the song that's like Kirby Air Ride Legendary Machine. We may as well just listen to the real thing. There we go. I gotta finish playing the game on stream. Somebody remind me. Item is a block wand. Item is a block. Block is an ore. Building brick. Block is asphalt. Chance to crumble away when mined. Fuck those blocks. Block is a chance to crumble away when touched. Block deals damage to the player upon contact. Spikes. Block inflicts bleeding. Specifically spike. Garbage. Why don't wooden spikes do that? Why only spikes? Oversight. Block slows the player. Cobweb. Block contributes towards a biome. Block is capable of being converted into another kind of block. Block is capable of being converting nearby blocks to other blocks. Block is affected by gravity. Item is an ore bar. Item removes corruption, crimson hollowed. Item spreads glowing mushroom field. Item spreads jungle grass. Jungle glass. Block spreads corruption, crimson hollowed to adjacent blocks. Item spreads crimson. Item spreads corruption. Item spreads hollow. These are different because this is a block. These are items. This would be like purification powder or something. But like for crimson, I actually forget what the crimson... Is it vicious powder? I think it's vicious powder, yeah. Vicious powder. And hollow items prevents the spread of crimson corruption hollow. That'd be like the sunflower. Block is visible. Echo blocks, I think. Or what they're called. Yep. Look at me, Mom, no hands. You can still explode it, that's neat. Why is this in the game? Anyway. Herbs can grow on this block. Item is a herb. Flowers can grow on this block. Item is a seed. Item is a sapling. Dye materials can grow on this block. Item is a dye material. Moss can grow on this block. Block is a liquid. Block is a platform. Platform is lava proof. Only obsidian platforms, I believe. Item can collect liquids for later use. Bucket. Because even though you craft magic water droplet or magic droppers from liquid or mud from dirt while standing in liquid, it doesn't technically collect them for later use. In the sense like you would be using the liquid. Well, technically water droppers, magic droppers you would, but like not really. It's like a particle effect. This is like specifically for regular water. Don't be a smartass, please. Item absorbs a liquid infinitely. Item releases a block of water, limited. Item releases water infinitely. I wonder why I didn't mention the infinite water bucket, but I mentioned the regular one. Seems a little inconsistent, but I don't really care. Honey, limited. There's no infinite honey bucket, sadly. Item releases a block of lava, limited. Lava infinitely is a wall, is a painting. Painting height, width, is a furniture. Furniture block height, furniture block width. Furniture sprite height, sprite width. Item is a bed. I think I forgot. What's the difference between a furniture block and the sprite? Oh, okay, it's because there are things like... God, this shit is so stupid. Where is it? Item frames. This pisses me off. This grinds my gears. Okay. I gotta do, like... Leave some walls, actually. Look how these are placed. Oh, wait, never mind. I think it's a painting, actually. Is it this one? Yeah, look at this. Oh god, it uses like half blocks. It's so ugly. Let's get a bunch of them just to see how completely stupid this is. And then compare that with, oh great. I don't know, but there's like some blocks that are weird. There's another painting that I forget. Oh great. This game was made by idiots. Doesn't function at all. 0 out of 10. Okay. Item is a bed, dresser, traffic station, storage item, chest, trash can, barrel. I forgot dresser here. Dressers do that too. That's why they can't be destroyed by rockets. Do you not know that? Check this out. Oh shit. Fun facts with your Terraria bro. They're immortal. Because they're storage items. Hello? I don't care about the fucking snow blocks. Like, the bottom changes your pants and whatever, and this top part could be used as a storage device. I wonder how many people don't know that. It's interesting. Let's get some... Not Sky Sand. Sky Sand's boring. Sky Sand, small PP. Not Skrillex. Super Mario Galaxy music will get me copyrighted. Let's do it. Okay, what's next? That's updated. Okay, storage item inventory shared. Storage item inventory is shared. Piggy bank, safe, Defender Forge, Void Bolt. Item allows for name entry, chest dressers. Item allows for... Everything that is over here should be also there. You can also name dressers stuff. Which, it is there. Trash can, you can name trash can stuff. Chest I have. Barrel. Barrels are in the game. I never use barrels. Oh yeah, I remember these, yeah. Can you destroy this? Nope. At least they're consistent. At least I made a tiny bit of progress mining the world. Build like a house here or something. Test these items in. Item allows for text entry, signs, tombstones, summons minion, minion knockback, minion width, minion height. Minion has a hitbox, because like imps and hornets don't have hitboxes. They shoot projectiles and that's what does damage. Well, something like the Stardust Dragon actually is a hitbox that moves around the screen. It lasts an infinite amount of time. Minions are broken. Minion has a hitbox. Minion rushes enemies. Minion shoots projectile. Minion projectile passes through as many targets. Minion projectile works underwater. Fire imp. Flame imp. I forget. I think it's... I actually don't even remember. Drawing a blank in the most random thing. No, I've never used this weapon before. I'm easily distracted. Give me a bullet. I can't even spell. This thing's spread is awful. Do you see this? Jesus Christ, these things have insane... I don't even remember what I was doing. What was I doing? Does anyone know? Minion project. Oh yeah, Fire Imp. Imp Staff. That's what it's called. And he's just called an Imp, okay. Well, his projectile doesn't work underwater. When your projectile use time, they actually buffed the fucking Imp. Not the Fire Imp. I mean, technically it is, but whatever. They buffed him, so now he has a much better use time on his projectile. Mini projectile with height. Mini projectile velocity, mini projectile duration, because there's like a certain amount of blocks. Let's do that for here too. Seconds plus blocks. Item aggro's minions to target, that'd be the whips. Items a sentry, that'd be like the Frost Hydra or the Spider Queen staff. That increases the max number of sentries, pretty much all the old one's army stuff. Item is Crimson Rod, and then these items are so specific and like special that they require like their own quotes. There's a good amount of these. And we got, oh, what did I just do? Item is a fishing pole, fishing power, fishing lava, whether or not it can do a fishing line length. Fishing pole has an increased chance to fish up enemies. I forget the name of this thing. Fish. What's this thing? Chumcaster, okay. It's been a little while. Item can catch lava critters. Item is a critter. Item is a town animal license. Item is a lava critter. Item is a critter cage/jar. Item is an extractinator. Item has lifesteal, and then there's lifesteal percentage. Item is a paint. Item can apply paint to blocks. Item can apply paint to walls. Item can remove paint. Item is a large gem/gem lock. Item allows for item display, item frame, and weapon rack. Item is a trophy. Item is a decorative banner. Item is a buff banner. Item is a campfire. Item is a heart. Item is a heart lantern. Item is a star in a bottle. Item is a water candle, peace candle, garden gnome, decorative cup, unspecified decorative furniture. There's a lot of those. Item is a statue, mounted turret. Those are there's only 4 or something. Like the cannon, confetti cannon, and bunny cannon all work for that. And there's the snowball launcher. This thing. This is also, you input snow or like snowballs into that. It also works. It's like a mounted turret, like it says. And turret angle orientations, like the cannons, you can change their angles. Turret, and then the snowball launcher actually is weird, where it has base damage on the projectiles it shoots, even though snowballs already have stats. I don't get it. And it also, same thing, it's set knockback. I don't get it at all. Item sends wire signal upon activation. Item is a pressure plate. Pressure plate is triggered by players only. Pressure plate is triggered by players, NPCs, and enemies. Pressure plate is triggered by NPCs and enemies. Pressure plate is triggered by players only, then breaks. Pressure plate is triggered by players when stepped on or off. Pressure plate is triggered by projectiles or pets. Item is affected by wire signal. Item is a trap. Trap method of use. Trap damage. Item is a pump. Item is an actuator. Item turns blocks to an active state. Yeah. Item is a logic gate. Item is a conveyor belt. Item is a trapped chest or dead man's chest. Item is a wire. Item is a timer. Wire-related timer, of course. Item can place wire. Item can remove wire. Item allows increased vision of wires. Item automatically places actuators on placed blocks. Item allows free control of blocks, dirt rod and actuation rod. Item is a grappling hook. Number of grappling hooks. Grappling hook can fire in rapid succession. Hook latching is individual, simultaneous, or single. That basically refers to whether it'll like put you in the middle between a bunch of different hooks that you've shot, or like even though it has multiple hooks, it'll like only latch one at a time, but it'll let you stay in place when you shoot the next one. And single is obviously just like the regular grappling hook, or the gem ones, there's just one hook. Hook velocity, speed at which it travels obviously, and then grappling hook reach in tiles. Grappling hook latches onto trees, that'd be a squirrel hook only. Items an oyster, it's like a grab bag, gives you either some pearls or some shuckled oyster. Can of worms, herb bag, goodie bag, present, treasure bag. I'm sorry if my randomly making stuff capital is bothering you. I just like doing that. I don't know why. Paired wings, wing flight in seconds, wing flight height in tiles, wing speed bonus, wings gain more altitude while holding up. That'd be, Starbird does that. Look how fast I go. 114 miles an hour. It's really sick. Bump my head on space. And we got wings allow hovering. Item is a magic carpet. Item is a rope. Item is a rope coil. Item bounce on the ground when used. Item maximum bounce height, minimum bounce height. Item's accessory, vanity item, is an armor piece. Helmet armor piece stats. Breastplate armor piece stats. Greaves armor piece stats. Armor same set bonus. Item is a monolith. Item is a die. Monoliths, for those who have forgotten, are the items you craft out of either the star fragment things, like, I don't remember what they're called, like celestial fragments. Frag. And like these things. You can actually craft monoliths out of those. This one drops from the, what's his name? Dreadnoughtalus. And this one I forget, but like, put them down and you can activate the color or aura of the Celestial Moon Event Tower things. Whatever you want to call them. You can activate that whenever you want, it's pretty neat. Item's a die, item's a hair dye, item can remove player hair dye, item is coral, item's material, item ingredients, item crafts into this many items, item crafts from this many items, item is a pet summoner, item is a light pet summoner, item is a minecart, speed of minecart acceleration, minecart max speed, minecart attacks independently of the player, item is a mount, mount attacks independently of the player, mount can fly / glide, mount is infinite flight, mount max flight height, mount can mine blocks, mount max walking speed, mount max swimming speed, mount max flying speed, item is a consumable, item is a key, item is a lockbox, upon player damage, item restores mana, item negates fall damage, item negates knockback, item protects other players on the player's team, item displays information, item teleports the player to the same place every time at a cost. That'd be like a teleporter, I guess, but like, yeah, you have to set it up, I guess, that counts as a cost, and it's every time. And the same thing, but at no cost, would be something like the magic mirror, like one of the conches. Teleports to the same place every time, but you don't have to like build it, you just find it and it works. Item teleports the player to a selected location at a cost. Selected location at a cost. That would be the Rod of Discord, because you can't, it gives you a debuff. And it provides immunity to a debuff. Like Ankh Charm stuff. Item allows the player to dash, mouse in the way. Item allows the player increased mobility in a liquid. Item allows the player increased mobility on a certain block. Item reduces sliding on ice. Item prevents thin ice from breaking below the player. Item increases player jump height. Item allows the player to double jump, space midair. Item allows the player to quadruple jump, bundle balloons. Item plays a sound effect, most do. Item is a music box. Item allows the player to run really fast, Hermes boots, lightning boots, stuff like that. Item allows the player to dodge an incoming attack, ignores an incoming hit, like hollowed armor or the black belt, I believe. Yeah, no. Which one is the dodge? Black belt or tabby? I always forget. Tabby. Okay, tabby is dash. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, because black belt's the one that makes you dodge. Item chance to dodge, because some have a chance, others are 100% every time. Like, hollowed armor is 100%, I think. Item can grow grass on dirt, rod of staff or regrowth. Item can harvest moss from stone. Item allows the player to swim, flippers, which is infinite double jumps while you're in water. It's pretty neat. Item retaliates when players hit, bees or stars. Item increases invincibility frames. Item grants partial immunity to lava damage in some way. Obsidian Rose halves damage from lava. Item grants immunity to lava, that doesn't exist because the developers suck, but whatever. Item grants the ability to stick to walls, like the climbing claws. And grants the ability to slide down walls. I think I actually got this backwards. Shoe spikes. Because shoe spikes are the ones that stick to walls, and claws are the ones that slide down, I think. Could be wrong. Item is a chance for the player to not consume materials while crafting. There's a couple of those, like the alchemy station is the main one that comes to mind. It might be the only one, actually. I don't remember. Item increases the player health or mana upon being equipped. Main one that comes to mind is the Band of Star Power, which increases mana. I don't think anything increases health upon being equipped, that'd be too broken. Item permanently increases the player's health, mana, or gives an additional effect upon being consumed. There's a bunch of those. Item increases player's tile placement reach. Increases player's tile placement speed. Item increases wall placement speed. Mining speed is a fish. Item used as bait. Item bait power. Item grants immunity to broken fishing lines, increases fishing skill. Item decreases chance of bait consumption while fishing. Item allows fishing in lava without use of lava bait or highland fishing hook. Item is a yo-yo. Yo-yo range in tiles. Yo-yo duration in seconds. Item increases the range of yo-yos. Item fires a second yo-yo upon hitting an enemy, which is like... I forget what they're called. Yeah, these things. What are these? Counterweights. I forgot they were called. I think the 1.4 playthrough was the only playthrough I've used that I didn't use a yo-yo once. I wonder why. Then item increases item, coin, heart, or mana star pickup range. Item grants ability for extra coins to drop from enemies while fighting. Item fits in coin slot. Item reduces prices at shops. I'm gonna need another drink of water. Item grants a minor stance up to all stats during the day only. Same thing for night, and then either does it just all stats up. Item transfers the player to werewolf at night. Transfer player to merfolk in water. Item reduces mana cost of other items. Item automatically uses mana potions if the player runs out of mana. Item provides light in liquids. Item provides a small amount of light. Item provides a moderate amount of light. Great deal of light. And then damage reduction. Item grants health or mana regeneration. Infinite flight. Item allows the player to reverse gravity. Item instantly heals the player's health or mana at no cost. I forget if there's anything that does this. I guess technically lifesteal, but that isn't really what this is referring to. This would be like a potion that gives you no debuff. You just hit a button and it heals you. I don't think this exists. Item instantly heals the player's health or mana at only cost of cooldown. That would be the potion sickness debuff, so that's like most potions. Item instantly heals the player's health or mana, but at a cost. That would be mana sickness. Item increases potion sick, inflicts the potion sickness. Item reduces potion sickness duration. Item inflicts the mana sickness debuff. Item reduces the player's magic damage. Great. Spectre armor, good set. Item grants the ability to stand on hot blocks. Item grants invisibility. Item grants invisibility to other stats while invisible. This is like invisibility potion, and this is like Shroomite and Vortex armors. Item grants well-fed, level of well-fed. Item inflicts tipsy on the player. I consider this a debuff because lowering your defense is always worse than increasing your offense. Always. Let's get some Delfino Plaza. Item decreases chance of ammo consumption. Item increases range damage, increases range crit. Item lights shot arrows on fire. Item lights shot arrows with frostburn. Item lights shot arrows with shadow flame. Item turns shot arrows into a line of bees. Item converts shot arrows into flaming bat projectiles. Item converts shot arrows into rainbow lasers. Item increases arrow velocity. Item increases arrow damage. Item increases bullet damage. Item increases bullet velocity. Item increases rocket damage. Item increases summon damage. Item increases or decreases enemy spawns. Spawn rates, I mean. Item increases chance of catching a crate while fishing. Item allows the player to see nearby danger sources. Item slows the player's falling speed. Item allows the player to breathe underwater. Item increases the player's luck. Item shows the locations of nearby enemies. Item increases the player's defense. Item increases magic damage. Item increases magic crit chance. Item increases melee damage. Melee crit chance. Item gives increased damage in all stats. Or like for any item. Item gives crit chance but for all items. Item increases player's night vision, detects hooked fish. Item faintly illuminates nearby treasure and ore. Item clearly illuminates nearby treasure and ore. This would be like the Spelunker glow stick and the suspicious looking tentacle. And this would be Spelunker potion. Item increases the max number of minions. Item increases the player's armor pen. Item increases the player's movement speed. Item is a magic dropper. Item reflects damage back at attackers. Turtle armor, thorns potion. Item increases player height, step stool, and mounts. Item is moved by player hurt box. That would be beach ball. Is a novelty item. Yeah, those things. Item is a Christmas tree, fountain, boss relic. Item grants for damage reduction only from cold sources. Item allows the player to inflict a debuff upon use of melee attack, so flasks. Item is a potion, item is a flask. Item increases aggro, decreases aggro. Item summons an enemy, summons a boss. Item summons an event. Item changes the season. Item internal name, internal ID, internal projectile ID, internal buff ID. Item is obtainable. Last update the item was changed in. Weapon inflicts damage, or weapon inflicts debuff, debuff name, debuff tooltip, debuff duration, debuff damage per second per target, debuff maximum damage per hit against one target, debuff maximum damage per hit against 3 targets, debuff maximum damage per hit against 5 targets, debuff maximum damage per hit. So this is like you hit a target once, and then that's how much damage it does. Then 25, 50, and 100. I think I might need to add more of these that's debuff DPS. Because this is damage per hit, but like, debuff damage per second per target. So you're expected to do the math yourself instead of just... Because I think this needs to exist. Because debuff, it says the debuff damage per second per target. So then, and then it says debuff and damage in 1 hit against each target. This is just for curiosity, it doesn't actually do anything. Well, debuff damage per second per hit is like, or per target. Wait, damage debuff per second per target. It makes you assume that it passes through a certain amount of enemies based on these values. And then you have to put that together with this value to make something that doesn't exist on this spreadsheet. So let's actually fix that right now, because this is right near the end. So we got 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, no, 25, 50, 100. Debuff damage per second against 1 target. Debuff damage per second against 3 targets. Debuff damage per second against 5 targets. Debuff damage per second against 10 targets. Debuff damage per second against 25 targets. Debuff damage per second against 50 targets. Debuff damage per second against 100 targets. Don't know how useful any of this information will be to know, but we're gonna put it anyway because it's pretty relevant, because like Hornet Staff projectile only hits 1 target and the Imp projectile hits infinite, so. And then there's just, after all that, there's just DPS in general against 1 target, which this is separate from this because the DPS is measured as the damage you're like hitting stuff with. Well, when you're hitting a dummy with something that inflicts a debuff like poison or something, it doesn't actually count the damage that the poison's doing, it just counts the damage that the weapon's doing. It's kind of lame. And then there's those for all those different targets. These are all fucked in terms of how big they are. Let's fix them. So I don't have to deal with this again. Banner value, we need to know how powerful enemies are in order to know how useful a banner value is. This will, I'm sure, be 1 to 100 or something, similar to the appeal value and accessibility, but it'll be like an enemy's threat level or something. Maybe it'll be different, I'm not sure. Because like the value of a banner is directly tied to how threatening an enemy is. And then these things which I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the video, it's just different parts of the equation pretty much. And then there's the final score. So that's what my spreadsheet is all about. Thanks for watching, and check out the main channel and the item showcase series. Thanks again.